If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. Welcome back. We got another show for y'all this week, man. You know, I took a couple days off. Apologies to my 3G's family. AP, Pac G, man. Love them niggas, man. I had to take the day away, you know, I had to handle some family business. But we bike. Happy Monday, man. Happy Monday to everybody, the GMS fam. Shout out to Al B, St. Paul, Slim, Glow, Will Stumbling, Rob, Justice, King, Lukey, E. Green in the building. Appreciate y'all for pulling up on me expeditiously. I just got back from the fair a little bit ago with my youngin', man. Me and my brother Fu, man. We did the dad-daughter day at the state fair today, man. And that's where I spent most of the day before I came to do this, so I'm a little bit worn out, but we got some things to talk about. And you know, we start out every show with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. And I got one road. I hope y'all got one road too. You know, we keep that green mind state, baby. Now, there's some things we need to talk about. A few things, man, and I want to start doing this where I ask y'all what we should start out with first. You know, as you see the title, as you see the thumbnail, there's a few topics, big topics at hand, and we're gonna, you know, squeeze in a couple other topics that I heard about during the week or during the weekend. But first things first, I was gonna have y'all choose, but I wanna deep dive in this because I'm a music guy, man. You know, before I did this podcast, I was heavily involved with music, man. You know, I rap, I produce, I do all that. You know what I'm saying? I've done plenty of shows, I traveled, all types of shit. So music, you know, hip hop as a whole means something to me. And when I seen the conversation come up around the origins of hip hop, I didn't know that was actually a debate. I didn't know we were questioning the origins of hip hop. I didn't know that so many people were confused about that. So we're going to talk about that because I want to get this part off my chest, because for some reason black people can't have shit. Not even the genre they created that everyone else imitates around the world. We can't even get that. It's one thing to continue to fuck black artists and continue to take things that they worked hard for or their likeness and signing them to deals where you take their whole life away. But it's another to talk about the fact that they weren't the sole creators of this genre that everybody loves. So I had to talk about this because this came up on my timeline via Tariq Nasheed. Now, shout out to the FBAs out there, man. Foundational Black Americans. Shout out to y'all. And it's crazy because I think, and this is a side note, I think the term FBA, or is it acronym? Am I right about that? FBA has now become something that offends other non-FBA individuals, other black people, but that aren't foundational Black Americans. Now it has become a term of separation for a lot of people, even though it's a literal term. It's something that actually makes sense for those who were born here, who have spent their whole lives here, and then come over here from a different country later on after everything happened. And even though that is another subject for another day, because we can talk about that all day, I want to stick to the music. I want to stick to hip hop. So what happened was, and this is what makes me think that people in this culture who are not of our descent, who are not of our culture, who are not black, see certain things happening in the black community and then try to throw gasoline on it. Because there's no, and this is just coming from a logical standpoint, there's nothing that has happened or took place. Cinco de Mayo was in May. Or is that March? Is that May? Yeah, it is May. And I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm just saying, I'm trying to give you an outlook on why all of a sudden shit just popped up out of nowhere talking about Latino contributions to hip hop. It's not out of the ordinary for certain powers that be that see the frustration and see the things going on in black culture and then try to throw a gasoline on the fire. It's not out of the ordinary, or it's not a shock to me that one day Tariq Nasheed is talking about black people being the creators of hip hop while talking about Caribbeans and things like that, because that has been the other, topic of discussion, is that, hip hop was created in the Caribbeans. Seeing how that has become a topic of conversation, then all of a sudden out of nowhere, please follow me and let me know if I'm just being out of control, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere, BET and other platforms are trying to highlight the Latino contribution to hip hop. Because one thing that they know about us is that we get triggered easily and we react quickly. Doesn't matter what the context is or what the other side may have took from this side, because when I listen to the back and forth or the Fat Joe's response during the backlash of what he said, it didn't even sound like he was arguing that black people started hip hop. His argument was Latinos being a part of hip hop. That's not even a question. Everybody's a part of hip hop. Everybody's a part of the shit. I mean, nowadays. But when you go back to the beginning, of course, Latino people were involved with hip hop. Of course, Jamaicans and Caribbeans were involved with hip hop. But there's a difference with being involved, and there's a difference in who started this shit. And that's what I wanted to make clear before I went to even comment on what I'm about to play next, because I already see the dysfunction and I already see the misinterpretation of what is actually being said. Now, when this came to the forefront and when tweets were made and videos were posted, Fat Joe got some backlash for his comments. And this is why I said what I just said a second ago. Listen to what Fat Joe had to say in response to what people were saying about Latinos' contribution to hip hop. And then I'll let you know what Tariq said right after that. Listen to this.
Talking about Latinos wasn't in rap and this and this. These guys are fucking delusional. We're from the Bronx, New York. Shit happens. And so when hip hop started, it's Latino and black, half and half. But they going at me because I'm like the only Spanish dude, like really with a big voice. Fuck that. And Latinos wasn't there. You was invited. You are a specimen. I don't know what the fuck is up with these people that don't know their facts. And so out of nowhere this morning, somebody sent it to Tony Sunshine. He sent it to me. I got a little video I posted. And there's only a few Latinos in hip hop. And we got the drum beat going, and this talks about Charlie Chase and Ruby D and Whippy Whip and this. These are all.
Now, Tariq posted that video with the caption that reads, "If every single element of hip-hop culture was created by foundational black Americans and one or two Latinos just happened to wander off into a hip-hop party in the 70s, how does that equate to blacks and Latinos being half and half in the creation of hip-hop? The math ain't mathin'." So, now that we have the half and half comment of it all, I would like to say myself, once again, let me repeat myself from what I said at the top of this show. Black people can't have shit. And even in this, man, even though I feel like Fat Joe was confused about what people were saying in the first place, I still think that this man should have enough sense to understand that black people always get shit taken from them. We can't have credit for nothing unless it is bad. They don't like to give us credit for anything good. And when we try to hold on to something that we created, now we getting into it with the motherfuckers who's supposed to be allies to us, which is crazy because I'm gonna take this back, man. The reason why I keep saying we can't have shit and why people don't take us, like, here's the problem. Just a few weeks ago, the Latino community was, and a whole bunch of Mexicans was trying to have Tyga apologize and a bunch of black people on edge because they talking about appropriating culture. But what in the fuck do you call anybody who is involved with hip hop that is not black, who is not, I'll take it a step further, who is not foundational black? What do you call that? Niggas have been appropriating our culture since day one. And that shit pissed me off. Man, I don't even know if I talked about it on this podcast, but Tyga, why did you tuck your tail? I would have told them, fuck y'all. Niggas, Eminem was out here talking, I'm the lead singer of my band, I make all the girls see them down there on the fence. And them niggas was sitting right there singing the shit right along with niggas. Cause Eminem's the GOAT. But let Tyga pop up with a sombrero and a skinny mustache and y'all niggas mad. What the fuck? Nah, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit. It's crazy how nobody wants to take our culture seriously. And to keep it even more real, we are part to blame for that. And you want to know why? Because we should be taking our culture just as serious as anybody. We should be holding on to our shit just as strong as anybody else's culture, just like they do. Because they can appropriate our culture, they can be culture vultures, they can try to dress like us, talk like us, drop the N-word anytime. But when you do something on your side, they immediately want repercussions for it. Fuck that. This is our shit. And if I feel like putting on a sombrero and rapping 16 bars in fucking Spanish, I'ma do that shit. Now, there was this video here that was posted from an old Vlad interview that Grandmaster Caz did that Tariq Nasheed posted on his page. Somebody else tweeted it, but I believe Tariq retweeted it. But the caption was, "The issue is FBA are up on game now, and we are gatekeeping our culture. We do know our facts. That new Grandmaster Caz video Fat Joe posted means nothing because Grandmaster Caz already told the truth previously when he said this." Now I'm going to play this, and then after I'm going to play what Caz said recently in support of what Fat Joe was saying. Now listen to this.
I think anybody that got involved into hip-hop later on in the game are guests of hip-hop.
Boom.
And whoever existed, whatever hip-hop is or was when it started, that's what hip-hop is. And
Caz kind of look like Brother Polite right here, but let's keep going.
if you decide to get down with it or become part of it later on, you're a guest. I don't care what color you are. White, black, orange, Latino, it doesn't matter. Latinos weren't involved in hip-hop directly that much in the early days of hip-hop.
They weren't.
One or two.
Okay.
One or two. My partner, Disco Wiz, my first DJ partner in hip-hop, he used to beat up people in the street for telling them, "Why you hanging with them niggas? Why you hanging with Morenos?"
Well, he was Puerto
He
Rican.
was Puerto Rican, half Cuban. And we were together every day, like brothers, you know.
Damn.
I mean, dressed, everything, you know what I mean? And he would always catch flack from Puerto Ricans for being with me, you know what I mean? And he'd knock them the fuck out, you know what I mean? But, so when in like 78, 79,
Let's talk about that in a
more
second.
Latinos started migrating toward hip hop, you know what I mean? As dancing as b-boys and stuff. They kind of changed the whole fabric of the breakdancing thing as b-boys, but it was a gradual thing as far as Puerto Ricans getting involved into hip hop. Puerto Rico was playing congas and timbales in the park while we was playing turntables. All right, so
Now this is where I think Grandmaster Caz was being himself. I think his statement today, before I even play that statement, because I got some shit to say about what the fuck was just said, because that shit struck a nerve. But that's him saying how he really felt. I think today's response was just to make people feel better about the situation. And I'm all for camaraderie and togetherness. But when people are trying to take away what we created as a people, that's not cool to me. And what he said rings a lot of bells. I'm 30 years old, but I know a lot of niggas that are 10, 15 years older than me dealt with shit that he was just talking about. Imagine you and the homies down the block, you got your one Latino homeboy over here, maybe even a white homeboy over here. You gonna have somebody pass you on the block, ask you why you hanging with them niggas, why you hanging with them monkeys, why you hanging with them street rats, them hood rats, why you do blah, 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 all this shit. And especially in New York. I'm not from New York, but I know that them niggas out there will say some grimy shit to your ass like you was somebody that they knew for years and they was just coming in like I can only imagine the type of shit that was said back then. Why people forget that a lot of people did not fuck with black people. It's another reason why it gives you even more confirmation that black people created this genre, because nobody was fucking with us. One or two. Because there were people that actually existed back then that saw the hypocrisies and saw the fuckery and hating somebody because of what they looked like. And also because what we do is so powerful and so magical, and it draws so many fucking people that there was no resisting the genre of hip hop. So of course they had to be involved with the shit, because whatever we touch turns to fucking gold. Maybe I'm preaching too much. Maybe I'm just talking too much shit. But wasn't nobody fucking with us. And it fucks me up because this conversation changed how I felt about the series, The Get Down on Netflix, man. Which it doesn't take away how incredible that series was. I'm talking about hip hop to the core. But me being a person, like I said in the beginning of this, that loves music, that loves hip hop, I didn't even pay attention from how they were even telling the story. They told it all from a Latino perspective and had black people being the ones that surrounded him and that surrounded that culture, as if this Latino kid was pushing hip hop and breaking boundaries and making it possible for his black homeboys to succeed. Not to mention that this guy isn't even Latino or Puerto Rican or whatever they had him playing in the movie. The dude's Australian or some shit, which also fucks me up a lot in Hollywood. They'll take a lot of people from different countries to come over here and play black people when we have foundational black Americans. It tripped me out when I first heard the lead actor off of Snowfall. Incredible actor. But the niggas from England, they got ghettos in England. It's grimy over there. Don't get it fucked up. The niggas in England, bro, they'll pull up on you with the shank, bro. If you don't have my tea and crumpets, bro, I'll shank you. I'll cut your throat. I'll cut your damn throat. They're crazy out there. But it's not here. When you grow up somewhere else, you're not going to have the same experience as niggas that lived here. And sorry I'm using niggas, but I'm kind of turned at the moment. I'm trying to keep myself at the right level. So excuse me, beautiful black people out there, kings and queens. I'm sorry, but I'm just talking my shit. I had to go back and listen and pay attention. Like, damn, you mean they couldn't tell a story from on the get down from a black perspective? They had to tell it from a Latino's perspective, from a Puerto Rican's perspective. And it's not that I'm trying to, and I don't want to get, because this is the fucked up part about having these conversations. Then it turns to a war. It turns to so-and-so against so-and-so. I'm never against other people. I'm only here to talk about what's real. You should see my friend group. It's everybody. Mostly niggas, but everybody. But if you're going to be a part of that everybody, you got to understand where I'm coming from. Because I'm not in the business of making other niggas feel comfortable because of however they feel about black people or how they feel about today's society. I'm black first before anything. And I had to learn that. Isn't that crazy? This country's so fucked up that I, a black man, had to learn how to be black first in this fucked up society. And I could say that because I know how much they tried to brainwash us over the years to try to make us seem like we are a problem. We supposed to go around acting timid around motherfuckers or try to hold our tongue or try to act like, you know, the greatest upstanding citizens in the world to try to make white people and other people feel comfortable because they're already scared of us. Fuck them and fuck they ideas and the horse that they fucking rode in on. I'm not in the business of that no more. Now, sorry, I'm going off tangents. I don't mean to go off too much. But let's play this video right here. This is the most recent comments from Grandmaster Caz that he made to try to clear up whatever it was that he said on the Vlad TV interview. And Fat Joe posted this as confirmation, I guess, to all FBAs out there who are questioning Latino's contribution or how they are a part of hip hop or helped start it. Listen.
Peace. It's your boy, Grandmaster Caz. Now, I recently heard some controversy going around on Twitter about a comment I made in a Vlad interview a few years back. Well, let me clear some shit up for you right about now. Some of the first Latinos in hip-hop were down with me. Disco Wiz, Charlie Chase, Joe Conzo, the man who took hip-hop's baby pictures, Prince Whipper Whip, okay? All Latinos, all part of my crew. Okay, so there's no way that I could talk about there not being a Latino presence in the culture of hip-hop. Now, I've stuck my foot in my mouth a couple of times on Vlad interviews, and they probably caught an off, you know what I mean, comment or something like that. But let me clear that up. For all my brothers, my Latino brothers and sisters in hip-hop, I've been an advocate since day one. So knock the bullshit off. Peace.
One thing we have to stop doing is feeling like we have to take up for everybody else but our goddamn self. Turn on the music. Why the fuck do we have to feel like we have to take up for everybody else? What did I just get done saying? We have been taught, we have been programmed to try to make other people feel comfortable. Meanwhile, them niggas is having niggas sit down to apologize for appropriating shit. Do y'all know what appropriating means? Do y'all know what it means to be a culture vulture? Do you know what it means to not be black and enter black culture and start doing things that black people are doing? We have to think and act and support black first. And we have to stop being scared to say the shit. That interview came back up because it was in support of the narrative and the truth that black people started this incredible genre that has gone across the world. Not everybody wants to do country. Not everybody wants to do pop. Not everybody wants to do gospel. Not everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to do hip hop. Anything that has ever crossed over has crossed over with hip hop because people are infatuated with what the fuck black people do. We have to stop thinking that way. Caz, he spoke from his heart on that Vlad interview. And one thing he didn't mention while talking about his Latino counterparts and his friends that came up with him out here in this hip hop game, he didn't re-mention the fact that these niggas was out here being approached by the same people, their same culture of people, other Latinos, and enduring racist activity, racist bullshit while just trying to make hip hop music. And not even just about hip hop, just simply having black friends. Simply having black friends is what had your Latino homeboy fighting for his life, Caz. We can't forget that shit. To try to make other people feel comfortable. And that sucks. Cause it's like we watching a legend fold. We watching a legend tuck his tail over some shit that's supposed to be factual. How did we get here? How did we get to this point? I'm gonna say this to wrap it up because I want to talk about this Aries and Lizzo shit because y'all know tomorrow night I have a good feeling because it went viral that they might talk about it on the 5150 show and spread some light because it's gonna be interesting. We're talking about a person who is notably hated by not only the 5150 chat room goons but also the host, but them agreeing on the same subject. We'll get to that in a minute, but let me close out on this. Let me close out on this with the hip hop topic, man. Black people created hip hop. Boom. And that's all I have to say. We did it. We did it. And everybody wants to be a part of it because it's one of the best, if not the best, genre to ever come out of music, to ever be birthed from music. We did that. And can nobody else take credit? They can say it, they can talk about it, but the facts are facts and life is life. Real life exists. We did that. Black people did that. And it's crazy because here's one thing that might dispel that before I move on. If y'all helped create hip hop, why is it that when every time hip hop shifts, it's because black people shifted it? Any evolution in music, whether it be the beginning to the 90s to the 2000s to this new era shit, we have moved the goalpost and elevated this shit every single time. You cannot tell me about anybody else who is not a foundational Black American who has influenced and changed the course of hip hop to be anything of what it is today. Every single change, every single shift, every single style, every single word, Black people. So until y'all create something that actually changes the course of this shit and actually makes a difference in this game, then I guess you can claim something. But as long as you have been a guest, that's exactly what you're gonna be. I don't care how many times my friends have come over to my house, they have had to take their motherfucking shoes off. And that's where I'm gonna keep it. And I stand on that shit. Shout out to my Black people. Shout out to my kings and queens. Now, speaking of kings and queens, we're gonna talk about a king and a queen here, man. Cause just cause you a gooey raccoon and just cause you shaped like the shit emoji don't mean you ain't no king and no queen. I love my Black people in all shapes, sizes, and shades under their eyes. I don't give a damn. Now listen. Aries Spears went viral because he made some comments on a podcast. Shout out to the Art of Dialogue podcast. I don't know anything about that podcast, but shout out to them because I hear they're Black owned. At least Aries says they're Black owned. So I'm going to shout them out. He went on there and the person asked him about Lizzo, and his response about Lizzo is what made him go viral and had to send him on a spree of responding to angry, bitter women online. Let's play this shit, man, because I got a lot to say about this shit.
Music man, Lizzo.
Lizzo?
Yeah, bro. Have you heard her shit, yo? Like, as a songwriter, yo.
I can't get past the fact that she looks like the shit emoji. She's got a very pretty face, but she keeps showing her body off, nigga. Like, come on, man.
Uh-oh.
Come on, yo. I'm sorry. Listen, I ain't the most in shape nigga in the world, but I still, you know, when you funny and you got swagger and confidence and you decent looking, I think I'm at least handsome, you get pussy.
If a nigga say I think I'm at least handsome, he know he ugly. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. He's aware, okay? He's aware that he's not the best looking guy out here, okay? And when you make jokes about other people not looking good, you gotta be self-aware. That's first thing first. Also, by the way, if you are tuning in to this show right now and you like what you hear and you fuck with today's topics, please do me a big favor and hit that like button right now. I want to see y'all hit that like button and share this shit, by the way, man. Share this shit. If you got other social media platforms other than YouTube, hit that share button, share the link on your socials, let people know where to pull up every week. Now let's keep going.
But a woman that's built like a plate of mashed potatoes is in trouble. You know what kills me about women is the hypocrisy and the contradiction. Yes, queen, slay, queen. Yes, queen, slay. Yeah, girl, your confidence. Fuck diabetes. Fuck heart problems. Fuck heart disease, cholesterol. Y'all claim womanhood and about sisterhood and support for your sister, you know, when it come to that ridiculous shit. But if you really gave a fuck, why wouldn't you go, Black girl, we love you. We love your confidence, boo-boo. But this ain't it.
He has kind of a point there. Also, I will point out, I see that. Dub Deuce said at least he ain't got raccoon eyes no more. See, I think he been going to Charlemagne doctor, Dr. Natasha Sandy. Is that her name? He said her name probably 1,000,000 times over the past couple years because she did an amazing job on bleaching Charlemagne's face. But I'm pretty sure he got something done up under this region to make it less raccoonish. Shout out to Aries Spears, man. I ain't got nothing against Aries Spears. We call him a gooey raccoon because that nigga Corey, man. Come on now. It's funny, but you know, I gotta address this black man as his first name. Come on.
This ain't it. That's the real love. Y'all will jump on me for making jokes, But y'all won't fucking be real and go, sister, put the eclair down. This ain't it. Yo, what up? It's your boy Aries Spears. I had to put the Yankee on for this one. Listen, I know I'm trending right now because of the Lizzo joke. And I just want to say, man, a lot of you women are funny, you know, with the critiques. I ain't funny, I'm fat, unattractive, no woman wants me. They always try to hurt you with what works for you the most. That's what they try to hurt. That's like you break up and you go, that's why you got a little wee-wee and you can't screw. But you've been with him for years. I'm 32 years in this game and I ain't funny. I'm 32 years in this game and I ain't never got no meow. That's hilarious.
This nigga said meow. He couldn't even. I don't know what to say about that. I read body language and I kind of read how people say things and how people do things. And you can tell when somebody's like forcing something or when they're trying to like overcompensate for something. And the fact that this nigga just meowed, I mean, take what you want, but it just.
For years. I'm 32 years in this game and I ain't funny. I'm 32 years in this game and I ain't never got no meow. That's hilarious. Y'all don't deal in logic and sense. You deal in emotion and anger.
How you 30-something years old saying meow? Just say pussy, nigga.
Come with something that's not subjective. Me being unfunny, unattractive, that's not a fact. That's subjective. Stop leading with emotion and anger and come with facts. You heard me? DM me for the link to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. And if there's any women out there that want to give me some meow for some of this, holla at me.
He said, holla at me. Now, it did sound like he was kind of soliciting some sexual activity online, but that's beside the point. He had some good points there. He had some good points. And it wasn't even about Lizzo. It's about the hypocrisy in what we see. Because I can guarantee you, man, I can guarantee you that a lot of the women and even the men that was coming to Lizzo's defense had a problem with her shaking ass at the Lakers game on the Jumbotron. What side of the fence are you on? I think people only react to certain shit when they have an opportunity to shit on somebody else. And Aries looks like an easy target. Whether or not you'll win in a roast off with that nigga because he is a seasoned comedian, that's a toss-up. But it's easy for somebody to get online and to talk about somebody else and ignore what somebody was saying in the first place. He pointed out some important things that I think that a lot of women should pay attention to, but you can't say it as a man. You got to have another woman of like-mindedness to say these things so that women can be like, oh yeah, no, we should be encouraging that more. Yeah, we should. And shout out to Lizzo too, because I'm going to say this, man. We got to keep it real. Lizzo been catching strays a lot. And it's not like she's done anything, to anybody besides show herself off on the internet. And to be honest, that block button works really well. I mean, if you block somebody, you don't see anything they post. It's amazing. I don't know if you guys know about this, but it's the shit. All you got to do is go online, go to somebody's profile, click the little options button, and it'll say block user. You press that red button, poof. You don't ever have to watch, see, hear about shit unless they start going viral for something. Even then, you have the decision to not even go on that social platform to see what the fuck that person is trending about. We have a problem with giving our energy to the shit we don't like. And if you do not fuck with Lizzo and you think Lizzo looks like this or she looks like that, and you tired of seeing Lizzo shake her big ass on the screen, guess what? You do not have to. I mean, you absolutely don't have to. And you know what else you really don't have to do? Take the time out of your day to comment on it. That's all that is. And don't knock it till you try it. Don't knock the block button till you try it. Yeah, if you're dealing with a superstar who you don't like, yeah, it's gonna the odds are you're gonna see them because they're a superstar. But for the regular individuals in life, that's another thing. We niggas gonna talk about celebrities, but my main point is just for anything you don't like. Because even then, I go on social media and see people constantly talk about shit that they apparently don't give a fuck about, or that they apparently are unbothered by. How many times are you gonna say you unbothered by something before you admit you bothered? I don't know, but I just feel that way. I feel that way, and especially about this topic. We got to learn that we in a different day and age, man. You can't even be a comedian and make jokes because people gonna take that shit serious and go viral with it and fucking make you look like a bad guy and have you sit up there on social media all day trying to defend yourself. One thing that I feel like would change the trajectory of how people approach comedy is when comedians stop trying to explain why they're telling jokes. Fuck the explanation. Somebody thought it was funny out there. Fuck it. Fuck explaining. Fuck explaining why you're telling jokes. You're a comedian. I wouldn't have responded to any of them angry motherfuckers. This is all they do is wait for something to happen so they can have a reason to spend time doing something other than correcting their own lives. If people spent more time working on themselves and trying to figure out who they actually are and deal with their own demons instead of being on social media worried about everybody else's life, we'd have a lot more mentally sane individuals walking around here. Oh, that's a good segue for this little topic I'm about to bring up now, because I heard the donkey of the day a couple days ago. I think this was Friday's donkey of the day. Charlemagne gave donkey of the day to a trans woman or trans woman or trans man, whatever. I don't know what right term to use, but a woman who wanted to make the transition into a man. This, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but a woman who wanted to transition into a man went to go have a consultation with the doctor. She talked to the doctor for a while. They had multiple conversations. The doctor told her that, he wanted to make sure she was sure before she did this, to double check, to double think about it, to rethink all this type of shit. She didn't want to do it. She was real sure at the fact that she wanted to change her sexuality, change her everything, and they went along with the surgery. She got both breasts removed and her ovaries, her uterus. Got both her breasts removed and her uterus. And after it happened, after the surgery, this is like, I don't know how long time passed after this. This person was going to therapy, and all of a sudden during therapy, this person had the revelation that they didn't want to be a transition into a man anymore. And now they're suing the doctor that they went to try to get a sex change. I cannot make this type of shit up. And if it wasn't for Charlemagne sharing this story, we would have never known about it. Because all we hear about is how people want to make the transition, how people want to be this and that. Nobody's ever talking about the fact that some of these people are making decisions without actually thinking them through. And how many of these individuals are regretting the decision that they've made about changing the sex, about taking things off of them or adding things to themselves. Nobody's talking about that. And if you had, and I swear to God, if I had a whole show surrounded on the mistakes that trans people are making, people would think I was homophobic or transphobic, even though there are multiple stories out here of trans people that have regretted making the transition. This is why the D-Wade conversation we had was so important, because Dwayne Wade, as a grown man, could think to himself that his son or his daughter, whoever he wants to address his seed as, wants to do all these things for trans individuals, but the motherfucker's 12 or however old he is. I think he's like 12 or something, 13 maybe. I don't know. But something tells me that at some point in Zaya Wade's life, that motherfucker is gonna be like, what did I do? This wasn't a popularity contest. I actually based my life around this. And what is D-Wade gonna do if that day comes? Oh, Zaya, I thought you were so sure, Zaya. I thought you really wanted to. I really thought you felt like a girl. You had a boyfriend. You had everything. I thought you were really going about this. I thought you made up your mind at 13. Oh, that'll be a fucked up conversation to have. But, I mean, I guess they'll cross that bridge when they get there. I was gonna say some fucked up shit, but I ain't gonna say it. All I'm saying is, look, man, I'm done being cautious about the things that I'm saying. I'm done being cautious about trying to hold my tongue because I'm trying to make other people feel comfortable. No, I gotta speak my mind, bro. I gotta speak my mind because one thing I realize is I don't speak from a place of hatred. I don't speak from a place of malice. I don't speak from negativity. There's no hate in my heart. I just wouldn't be myself if I wasn't speaking the truth or my truth or how I feel, in my opinion. I couldn't. And I would be doing y'all a disservice if I wasn't keeping it real myself. You feel me? Now, I ain't gonna hold y'all on today, but I need y'all to do me one solid, big solid favor. Can y'all do that for me? When this live ends, when this live video is over, I'm talking about when the screen cuts off or when you see that little loading thing like, oh shit, the show's over, refresh the page and leave a comment under the video. I want to see my GMS fam in the comment section when the live is over. But for right now, hit that like button if you didn't do it. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling most generous. I would appreciate it. GMS in the chat. Let's go. I appreciate everybody that pulled up. I'm shouting out everybody, man. Put a GMS in the chat. I'm about to shout everybody out. Let's go. Let me shout out my GMS fam. I ain't did that in a minute. Hey, 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 hey. Shout out to King Lukey, Willie in the building, Ray Sean Solo in the building, Glittery Bubbles, Black Man America, OG Mont Roz Mix in the building, the BBC with Zen Master, Pause. Shout out Zen Master in this motherfucker. One Fast R, Trey 979, Rob Justice, E Green in the building. I ain't seen that nigga Olafambu in a minute. You know, he got deported back to Africa. If y'all didn't know, I tried to save that nigga, man. They busted down my door and took Olafambu back to the village, man. Repoed his rhinos and all that shit. Shout out to Glow. Did I say E Green? I see E Green. King Lukey, A-Hop 1. GMS fam, like I said, let me see y'all in the comment section, man. I see y'all putting them GMS's in the chat. Let me see if y'all gonna be in the comment section when this live is over, man. Let me see who really fuck with GMS for real. Shout out Southern California. Appreciate y'all, man. GMS fam, spark one up. One love, baby. We out.